it's Sam. So today I'm going to be doing a review of the Mer the Soft Fluid Longwear Foundation with SPF 50, or sorry, SPF 20, as well as the Mer The Powder. So we're going to be trying out two different products from the Mer line. These were so expensive. This was $110. This was $98. So we're really going to be putting these to the test to see if the price is going to reflect the product. I'm really interested to see if spending that much money on a foundation and a powder is really gonna make a huge difference with your face. I'm gonna be doing this as a collaboration with Cassie. Basically, me and Cassie went to Gem Beauty, and then afterwards we went shopping in San Francisco in Nordstrom, and it was amazing. We don't have these type of stores in our, like where we live. We don't have a Nordstrom. And so I'm never able to get my hands on these type of products, and I don't like buying this kind of stuff online without actually getting tested for a swatch or talking to the person about it. So we both bought the exact same product. So we're going to both be testing out these foundations, and then we are going to let you guys know what they did on our skin. So my skin type is oily, acne prone, and right now I have a stupid, dry, bumpy, weird Retin A rash. So that's enjoyable. And then Cassie's skin type is pretty much really nice. So her skin type is, I believe, normal combination. She doesn't have any kind of acne or breakouts, or she really doesn't have any texture either. Like, her skin is just really beautiful naturally. It's very smooth. It's pretty much like a dream skin. So it's gonna be interesting to see how it works on her skin, which is pretty much awesome, versus how it works on my skin, which is problematic. I'm going to do mine in two separate parts because I'm trying one day with only this powder and the foundation, and then the next day I'm going to try it with my normal routine to fill in my wrinkles and all that good stuff, and then ending with the powder. So I'm going to give it two different tries to see what I like the best and to see what works for my skin. I really love Tati's $500 da-da-da-da, what the F. I'm not going to call mine what the F because that would be completely copying hers. But I do enjoy her videos that she does like that. I feel like everyone is doing them nowadays, so I'm going to start doing them as well. And I don't want to take away from Tati. I'm giving full credit to her. I totally stole the idea from her. But I do find that they are very interesting to watch and very helpful to watch. So I hope you guys enjoy mine. This is not just a foundation, it's an actual treatment. So you are basically kind of taking care of your skin while you're wearing makeup, which is really awesome. This has a nutrient-rich sea kelp and other pure ingredients. Cell-renewing miracle broth immerses skin in the legendary healing powers of the sea. At the heart of every Mer treatment today, it helps transform with every drop. So that miracle broth is inside of this foundation. The soft fluid longwear foundation hydrates, softens, and smooths the contours and curves of your face, bending and diffusing light. Imperfections virtually disappear. All that is reflected is natural, lustrous, multi-dimensional beauty. Skin is instantly plumped with hydration. Lines and wrinkles are softened and pores appear smoothed. Infused with ageless benefits, skin is veiled in comfort. SPF 20 protection. It's helping your skin as you're wearing it. So in my opinion, if I can get a sunscreen, an actual anti-aging treatment, and a good foundation that wears all day long, all in one, then I don't mind paying that kind of money. This is 1 ounce, so it's nothing special as far as size goes. So the packaging itself is this gorgeous glass jar. It just says Mer on the front. It's got that nice top that's in silver. This is all glass, and then you have your pump, which I really appreciate because that's less messy. I am in the color Suede 33. I was matched at the counter to my self tan. This is a translucent setting powder. It comes in this gigantic glass jar, again with the silver top. You open it up and it has a little powder puff, and then you have your powder in here, and it does have a little sifter. So this is what the box looks like for the powder. So it's basically the same thing as the foundation. It has that miracle broth in the actual powder. It says, this luxurious finishing powder formulated with our potent miracle broth is so incredibly light it appears to float. Developed with symmetrical shape, uniquely coated particles, it magnetically attracts to the skin for a perfect fit. Skin looks radiant while air-spun sea-borne particles, some of the lightest materials on Earth, create an imperceptible finish to help skin appear flawless. Translucent coverage. It was 0.28 ounces, 8 grams. Continue watching. I hope you guys enjoy, and give me a thumbs up, and I will see you soon. So I have worn this once, and I didn't put anything else on top. So I didn't put concealer, brush, powder, bronzer, nothing. I just put it on my face, and I have to say it was exactly like skin. It did not settle into my lines. I didn't even set it. Like, it literally was the most amazing, like, quickly cover your face and make it look better without having to put anything else on and just go out and about. It was so beautiful. I was so impressed with it. So I can't wait to see what it is like when I actually do the rest of my face, because alone, it's amazing. I'm gonna pump out 3 squirts to start with. I've been using this beauty blender. It's not called the beauty blender, but it's from SL Miss Glam, and I love it. It's so good. Ever since I got it, I have not been using my beauty blender, so if that tells you something. So you can probably see as I'm doing this that it just kind of like, it just like melts into the skin, but it's so natural looking, but it really does cover really well. And he said that this is a buildable foundation. First time I used it, I just put a light layer on with my fingers, and it just looked so natural and so beautiful, but it still kind of evened out my skin tone. It is quite liquidy, so I feel like you do need to use a little bit more product. And maybe with a brush, you might not use quite as much product, but honestly guys, I just don't like using brushes anymore. I don't know what it is, but I just really prefer using the sponge. But you can see, like, this first layer is really giving me all the coverage that I need. Now, I will say the scent is quite strong, and I don't know what this scent is. Maybe Cassie will know, because I cannot figure out what this smell is, but it is strong. So if you are someone who is sensitive to scent, I would probably stay clear of this because it is quite strong. I think it's nice. I really like it, but I just want to be like, let you guys know that it is a strong scent, but one layer did everything that I need. So obviously, if you have more to cover, my skin's pretty good right now other than this stupid rash, then you might want to go in with a second thing. But I honestly feel like the first time around, like, you don't need really anything else. It looks so beautiful. So that is up close and personal. You can see it just looks like I have beautiful skin. It does not settle into the fine lines and wrinkles. Like, honestly, I had that on for basically like a half of a day, and not once did I see it go into my fine lines and wrinkles. It just looked so beautiful on the skin, and that was without setting it at all. It has like a nice glow to it without being too greasy. When you feel it, it just feels like you have some kind of like moisturizer on, but it's not overly oily. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply this powder like I do my normal powder, and we shall see what it does, because I don't know if it's gonna be as good as my NARS. I just want to test it out to see how it works as far as the line filling and the pores. I have a feeling it's not going to be as good as my NARS. Usually what I do is I start on my forehead and I just kind of like press it in, and I do the same on my chin, my smile lines. At first I press it in just to kind of like fill up those wrinkles. Oh my god, I didn't put concealer on. What was I thinking? Gosh darn it. Okay, I've never put powder on as much as that right before my concealer, so we'll see how it turns out. That side is fine though. I didn't put any powder on that side, so that side will still be a true review. Watch it look amazing, and it's like a new trend to put your powder on right before your concealer. Let's try this again now that I actually have concealer on me. Nincompoop, I tell you. It doesn't quite have the slip that my NARS one does, because when I put my NARS one on, I feel like I'm not disturbing my foundation underneath at all, and I feel like with this one, I kind of am. So I don't know if I would consider like using that as my NARS. I think though it might be better if I would use it as my Giorgio Armani like all over setting powder versus my kind of pore filler, wrinkle filler powder. I feel like I see a little bit of texture under my nose where that rash is. Ooh, it doesn't look quite as good as my NARS, so I would not use it for that. So now I'm just going to use my regular white powder to set underneath my eyes. Okay, and then I'm just going to use the La Mer powder just to kind of like set the whole thing as I normally would with my Giorgio Armani. So I'm just going to kind of blend everything in together. Okay, so to the touch, my face does feel really silky, but around here, the texture is not looking very good. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to tell, but I feel like that powder isn't quite as good as my NARS as far as filling in texture, pores, or wrinkles. So I'd probably go and use my NARS normal first and then set the whole thing with the La Mer. Okay guys, so I am back with all my makeup on. I have to say, as I was doing my eye makeup, I couldn't help but look underneath my eyes and feel like it didn't look like the normal way. And I don't think it's the foundation. I'm pretty sure it's the powder, because when I look up close, it just looks a little bit more textured, especially around here. I think that this is gonna take place of my Giorgio Armani pressed powder that I use to kind of just finish off and use a very minimal amount. I don't think you should use it in place of a pore filling, wrinkle filling, texture kind of minimizer powder. Because as I look up close, from far I look good. It's like one of that quote that says far from, or good from afar but far from good, or whatever. It's like what the guys used to say about girls. Disgusting pigs, aren't they really? But anyway, because when I look far, I'm like, ooh, I look good. And then when I get up close, I feel like just kind of like in this area specifically, it just doesn't look quite as smooth as it normally does. And I don't believe it's the foundation, because I've used that foundation alone and it was absolutely beautiful. So I'm actually going to do this twice. I'm going to do this video twice and put it into one video, because I don't want to give it a bad review because I used it in a way that I was hoping it to be good, and it maybe not, it's not meant for that. I love the foundation. I think the foundation is beautiful, but I'm not very happy with this powder for how I used it. And the powder has no scent. So if you're concerned that if you buy the foundation and it's scented, this powder to me doesn't smell at all. I will say when I used it to use as my bake, it was really, really nice. It dusted off really well. So that's okay, but we shall see how it does. So I'll see you in a little bit. Right now it is 10:49. 9:56, can you see that? No, not really, it's 9:56. So this foundation has been on for almost 12 hours. I have not touched it up, I have not repowdered, I have not blotted, I have not done anything. I've just lived my life. And this is what it looks like. So I have to say, when I first applied it, I noticed a lot of texture here around where my kind of like bumpy dryness is. And I wasn't super happy with it. But now I feel like as soon as my natural oil kind of like got into it, everything just kind of melted into the skin. And it looks really beautiful. I actually even got a compliment at school today when I was picking up Phoenix. One of the moms said that my makeup looked really pretty today. So I'm gonna try and get up like nice and close for you guys. I mean, obviously I can't help that I have like bumpy skin right there. There's nothing that I can do about that situation. But as you can see, it's kind of just like melted into the skin so nicely. I'm really actually happy with it. For this being 12 hours and me not having to touch up, normally my skin is super greasy. Now I do have a lot of highlight on right now, so I'm looking probably really oily because I'm like next to a computer screen. Around my wrinkle, normally this is like super like foundation-y. It's like really bad, and it's really not that bad at all. I mean, you just have to consider that I've had this on for 12 hours. It looks so beautiful. Like I've been really happy with my skin all day. I've been looking at it and I'm like, man, my face looks nice. It didn't oxidize. I mean, I don't feel overly greasy. I feel moisturized, but I can't say that I feel like I'm super slimy. I mean, you guys have seen a lot of reviews where I look ridiculous because it's so greasy. And that hasn't happened. It hasn't worn off. It hasn't gotten blotchy. It looks exactly how I applied it as far as coverage goes. It just looks better because it just looks more skin-like. Okay guys, so it is day 2 of trying the La Mer foundation. This time I did my normal routine. So I did the La Mer foundation, and then I put my NARS translucent light reflecting powder on my wrinkles. So my forehead, my smile lines, my chin, and underneath my eyes. I followed up with my white setting powder to make my eyes bright underneath. And then I finished off with the La Mer The Powder, as if it were my Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Powder. And basically, this is the way to do it. This looks so beautiful. My skin looks so smooth. It looks like I just have really gorgeous skin. There is not, I mean, I still have like bumps, you know, from my rash, but the texture like I had yesterday was pretty intense right away when I did it with just the La Mer powder. But using my NARS first to really smooth out all that texture and fill in any lines and wrinkles, and then going over the whole face with the La Mer powder, it really looks just absolutely beautiful. It's flawless. Yeah, and it's so natural looking. Like, it looks so good. So I have to say, yes. Yes, yes, yes. This is, I think, the way to do it, to get that like perfect, flawless, really silky smooth result. This is how I will use this La Mer foundation and the powder, by putting my NARS in between, or like, you know, in between the two products. I love the way it looks. It's beautiful. This is exactly what I was hoping for. Bye.
Hi guys. Okay, so it has been like a while since I first filmed the La Mer video. So I've had a few times to try this out and to really give it a good go. Here's what I have noticed about it. I think the foundation is worth it. I think it's nice that it's a treatment, it's a sunscreen, and it's a foundation. You can build it up to full coverage. If you're oily, you definitely will have a little bit of shine at the end of the day, but it's no worse than, I mean, it's a little bit oilier. I've had it on for over 12 hours today. I've had it on for 14 hours. And you can see, like, I'm definitely got some oil on me, but when you're oily, I feel like that happens with a lot of stuff. It's definitely more oily than my Estee Lauder Double Wear. However, it's a lot better in the wrinkles. It doesn't get collected in them like my Estee Lauder does. But the transferring does happen. And here's how I noticed. When I was in England, I had a scarf on and literally my whole entire jawline of foundation was just gone. And then this morning I had a turtleneck on and I literally had to go back inside before I took Phoenix to school because it had like sliced foundation off because of where my sweater had like rubbed. So this foundation does transfer. If you get it, like rub it on a scarf or a sweater or a jacket, or your kids wipe your face, it will come off and you'll be left with like a patch of no foundation. So that I don't like. I don't like the fact that like I have to be concerned that if I like brush my face with some kind of material or a child's finger, that my foundation will come off, because with my Estee Lauder Double Wear that does not happen. The other thing that I noticed is like when I do my bright under eye, normally with my Estee Lauder it stays bright all day, whereas I feel like this foundation, because it is, I think it's because of that treatment, it is quite moisturizing. It feels like you do have some kind of something like that's good on your face, like a, you know, some kind of moisturizer or serum. It seems to absorb your other products that you put on top. So like if you do a bright under eye or a concealer that is brighter, I feel like by an hour into it, my face is almost one color. Like you don't see a definition between your contour and your highlight and your blush. It almost kind of just like all goes into one. It's hard to explain because with my Estee Lauder, like how I apply my makeup is exactly how it looks as far as contour, brightness, blush, highlight. Whereas with this, I feel like, I mean, it's quite good that it looks more natural. Like it looks like it's just my face. But sometimes I want that definition. I want the brightness under my eye. I want the contour. I want the blush. So that's the only thing that I've noticed since I've been wearing it more, is that the brightness doesn't stay. Like it kind of just all disappears. Like it's very hard to get your blush to stay on and your highlight to stay on, but it does look more natural. So in my opinion, this is a great summer foundation. I will definitely be keeping it as a summer foundation, because I think in the summer you're not super concerned about like super, you know, contoured and highlight, and you know, like it's kind of just a little bit more like natural, where this is what I feel like. This is very natural looking makeup. Powder for me is not worth it. I would not repurchase the powder. I would not really recommend purchasing the powder. I think for $98 you can save your money and get something that's not quite as expensive. Personally, I love the Giorgio Armani. It gives you extra coverage and it looks beautiful on the skin. The foundation for me is definitely one that I will be keeping. and I would recommend. I do like it, and especially if you are worried about wrinkles and fine lines and things getting settled into them, you would like this. I hope you guys found this helpful. Don't forget to go check out Cassie. We have completely different skin types, so her review might be completely different. I'm pretty sure she absolutely loves it. But overall, it's a great foundation. I think it's really nice, and I do like the fact that it has that treatment and the sunscreen into it. So it's like a 3-in-1 product. But pass on the powder. You don't need it. Okay, bye.